Hello and welcome back to this edition of Broome Up Front. I'm your host, Brianna Jennings, and today we have a really special show for you. But first, let's introduce our guest who has joined us here today, Liv Thomas.
Hello.
All right, so let's ask a few questions. Starting off with, how are you today?
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. A little nervous, but that's okay. We
Yeah,
got this.
We got this.
So how did you and Laur meet?
We met basically probably at tryouts for cheer, either that or at an open gym before cheer started, but because of cheer we met.
And do you have a favorite memory with Laur?
My favorite memory with Laur, I think, would have to be when we were on a bus trip to either like States or camp, and the whole way there, she made me listen to Minecraft music the whole way there and back. We had a lot of fun.
How did Laur's first concussion happen?
Her first concussion, let's see. I was basing her and she was flying, so I was holding her up in the air. And we were trying a completely new skill, something we had never done before as a freshman, and basically she fell right through our hands and dropped to the floor.
What was the hardest tumbling skill to learn, and how long did it take to get it?
The hardest tumbling skill for me would be my full. I still don't have it actually, and it's very difficult to learn because I can't just do it at home because it could be very dangerous and I could break something or hurt myself.
And could you give just like a quick description what that is for the people who don't know what it is?
So a full is basically a backflip, but you're twisting in the backflip. And then you twist all the way around.
Dang, that's skills.
Yeah.
Do you have any nicknames for Laur?
Yes, I have one nickname that comes up so often that I love calling her, and that's Laurasaurus Rex.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great. I'm glad to know that now. What position were you in cheer?
I did a bunch of different positions. I was a main base, which is on one side of the stunt, and a side base, which is on the other side of the stunt. They're basically both just holding the flyer up. And I've also flown myself before, which is very scary.
What was your favorite memory of cheerleading?
My favorite memory of cheerleading would have to be, we went to regionals this year. It was the first time we've ever gone to regionals, and we never thought we were going to get a bid to nationals. I mean, no one thought, because we didn't do the best we could have done, and it was amazing. We got a bid.
All right. After this break, Liv will be demonstrating how to do a flip. You won't want to miss it.
A lot of death. Ever wonder what it takes to become a good tumbler? A lot of time, a lot of effort, and a crap ton of mistakes. Just like that. But there's more. Roll the clips. I got this. I can do it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh hey, what's that?
Alright. And welcome back to our change setting, and we're gonna see what it takes to be able to do a backflip. Take it away, Liv.
So basically, there's some changes in what people call it. Some people call it a backflip, like what you did, and some people call it a back tuck. A back tuck, I would say, is a more technical term, and I would say a back tuck looks a little bit more cleaner than a backflip would. However, I will demonstrate a back tuck, which is what I learned from cheer. So.
Alright, and do you have any tips on how to do that?
Yes, actually, it can be a very difficult skill to get. When I learned it, I had a combination of my coach helping, and I also learned some of it on my own. And that can be something that you need to do. But first thing you want to make sure is that you have all the prerequisites or the skills before a back tuck. The one thing you definitely want to make sure to have is a back handspring, because it can be helpful when you're practicing your back tuck, that if you feel like you're going to fall, you can put your hands down and catch yourself so that way you don't fall. I will demonstrate a back handspring now. So that's a back handspring. That's what you can do, and it's going to be easiest to help you start getting a back tuck. The one thing you want to do after you have your back handspring down, and you can do it pretty much anywhere at any time and it feels easy for you, is you want to start making your back handspring higher. You want to try to get up higher and set up before you go over. And you want to let your hands touch the ground a little bit later than you normally would. So I'll demonstrate one of those, so high back handspring. So that's basically what you want to work on, and you want to practice getting it higher and higher until you might not even have to put your hands on the ground. Sometimes you can get all the way over just by practicing that, and you basically have a back tuck. Something else that you can do to help you is when you're doing a back tuck, you want to try to bring your hips over your head. So there's some drills you can do to do that, and I will demonstrate a drill you can do to help you.
Alright, thank you.
So basically, you want to try to bring your hips up over your head as much as possible, like you're doing a backwards roll, except you don't have to go over all the way. And that can be really helpful to make sure to get your hips over. And the other thing you want to do is you want to grab your calves and pull them over as hard as you can. Otherwise, you might not make it all the way. And sometimes you could land on your tippy toes and fall forwards when you don't mean to. So I will demonstrate the other thing you can do is when you're learning it, you can fold the mat up and you can do it from a higher surface onto a lower surface. That is something that helped me, and I learned how to get my back tuck as soon as possible because I went home, I had a mat, I flipped the mat over, and I did it, and then when I got done, I would do it on a lower surface. So I will now demonstrate a cartwheel tuck. So that's a skill you can get once you get your back tuck.
Okay. Well, that was all the time we have. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you on the flip side.